And then 7 o'clock, they tip off tonight in Indiana. They're on the road. They play the Pacers at 7 o'clock on MMS. And you can also hear it on the iHeartRadio app.
Did you see any of the... So they do a draft now for the All-Star Game teams.
Okay.
There's a captain of each team. This year it was LeBron and Kevin Durant. So one from each conference. The top vote getters are the captains. And at the end of them picking, it got down to LeBron was intentionally not picking James Harden because he wanted to see what Kevin Durant would do, because James Harden just wanted to trade away from his team. And it was this petty little thing, but it was very funny to watch them all react to LeBron intentionally not picking James Harden so that Kevin Durant would have to choose any other player besides James Harden.
I see.
It was so funny.
Right.
And they all knew it. Like, they do it with the NBA, like, TNT guys. So it's like Chuck and Kenny Smith and EJ and Shaq, and they're all cracking up because they know exactly what LeBron's doing, and Kevin Durant's just trying to play it like as respectful as he can. He's not trying to start drama, but he's like, I'm going to need some size and blah, blah, blah.
Well, he picked Darius Garland, right?
LeBron picked Darius Garland.
LeBron picked Darius Garland, yeah.
But it went down to the last two players, and it was Kevin Durant's pick, and it was between Rudy Gobert and James Harden, and he goes with Rudy Gobert.
I bet he's never
James Harden is like, he gets a lot of shade thrown at him during these drafts, because a couple years ago when Giannis was one of the captains, he didn't take James Harden because he's like, I need somebody who's going to pass the ball, so he took somebody else.
Right.
And so Harden, I don't think is well liked by the other players.
Imagine becoming a professional athlete and you have the experience that non-athletic kids have, where you're picked last.
Yeah.
You never had that experience probably in high school and college, and then you get to a point where it's simply because of politics, but you end up getting picked last for something like this. Speaking of Darius Garland, he is out tonight against the Pacers. He's had a back injury, and so he is still on injured reserve or whatever.
He's just on that, yeah.
So
he played on Wednesday. Maybe he re-aggravated it.
Yeah, maybe.
But
7 o'clock tonight in Indianapolis, Cavs Pacers here on MMS. Listen for that. Here's one for you. Cleveland's own Drew Carey, of course, been the host of Price is Right for a long, long time. And a woman won a big old prize. She won an $8,000 trip to New Hampshire. We have a lot of New Hampshire bureau chiefs. We have Michael, who's in Sunapee, New Hampshire. We have Alana, who's in Dover. Sunapee, I think, it's right on Lake Sunapee, if you can find that. Dover isn't that far from the Maine border. Matt is in Alton Bay. We have a handful of people who listen on iHeartRadio up in New Hampshire. I think New Hampshire is the Granite State, isn't it?
I don't know.
The Granite State?
I've never been up that way. The furthest I've gone that way, I've been to like upstate New York, and I've been
to Boston.
To Boston and like even other parts of Massachusetts, but I've never been to Vermont or New Hampshire or even Maine.
Well, I don't know how long.
Maine is sneaky big too.
Yeah, I don't know how long they've been giving away trips. I don't know if it's these game shows are spending less money, or maybe they're just trying to kind of break out of the Tahiti mold or whatever. But they gave this woman an $8,000 vacation to New Hampshire. Trouble is, she was in California visiting her daughter. She lives in Boston. So Katharine Graham won a beautiful trip to New Hampshire, a drive that she has made many, many times. But hey, a paid-for vacation is a paid-for vacation. What's the matter with that?
And her big prize was a 5-night trip to New Hampshire. Not exactly the big destination people here in Massachusetts dream about.
Drew goes, oh, that's great. Congratulations. New Hampshire's beautiful. And I go, Drew, I live in Boston.
And that's the thing. New Hampshire is beautiful. We all love New Hampshire. There is nothing wrong with New Hampshire.
But I've been there a million times. I just wish it was Tahiti or someplace. Bora Bora, someplace
warmer and more than an hour's drive away.
Yeah, cruise around the world, maybe,
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, that's right.
That's absolutely
True,
hilarious.
I live in Boston. I've been to New Hampshire a million times. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch The Price is Right, but I thought they were still giving away trips to tropical paradises. Those are a lot more expensive, so maybe it's belt tightening or something. I've never heard of them giving away a trip to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I imagine that has something to do with like the ease of travel as well. But also, these states all have tourism boards, so they will put together packages to
Send to game shows.
Send the game shows.
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
I think they did it once, and someone won a trip to Cleveland. They were
Right.
making a joke about that.
Yeah.
I think it was on Wheel of Fortune, though.
There you go.
Yeah, someone won a trip to Cleveland. They're like, what? Cleveland?
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I remember when The Bachelor.
Oh, the Bachelor came to Cleveland.
And they do want to make. He's like, you guys are gonna go to Cleveland,
And the girls are just like,
they're
ah.
oh, okay. They're like
The
Cleveland.
Bachelorettes explore Cleveland. What a good time.
My ex-boyfriend, like they had dinner at the winery by his house, like, or the country club by his house, and he brought me home like a vase from there. I was like, oh, that's nice.
A vase.
He was like, it was used on the show.
Yeah. So, and with all the things that you can do, you know, the speed with which information moves, you can do anything now in the blink of an eye. So I still can't believe the things that you can't do that quickly. The other catch for this woman, who is now back in Massachusetts, is that she has to fly back to L.A. to claim her trip.
Really?
Yeah, why can't they FedEx her what she needs? She said she had a great time on Wheel of Fortune. It'd be a lot of fun.
No, she was on Price is Right.
Or sorry, Price is Right, yeah.
So wait, she has to go back to L.A.
Yeah, to claim
get the stuff.
her round-trip flight from L.A. to Manchester, New Hampshire.
That's pretty backwards.
Get it. Right.
Oh.
So
But like a lot of people travel to be on that show. It's not like everybody that's on Price is Right lives in Los Angeles.
I would imagine
That's
it's
a weird
mostly
thing.
people who don't live in L.A.
Yeah.
It's people who are visiting, you know, months ahead of time, or any show, Saturday Night Live, or any game show. They're like, if you're going to be in Southern California, let us know. And, you know, and then you send away, and they say, you know, if you've ever gotten tickets for SNL, they tell you what show you get tickets for. You don't get to pick. So then you have to have your trip to New York for that weekend.
And these aren't prices where you can say, I'll take the cash instead, because there's agreements here. They're not actually paying for the trip. They make deals. It's almost like a form of advertising. So it's not
That's
like
right.
they'd be like, here's an $8,000. Well, you can't do the trip. Here's $8,000. And it ain't how it works.
Right. Promotional consideration provided by
Yeah.
is what they do.
Yes.
So she also got a fire pit, a love seat, and $1,000 and a trip right up the road to New Hampshire.
But can't you just go, like, drive up to so that just means to get the flight, she has to go there.
Yes.
It's like she could just drive to New Hampshire and be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I flew, I swear. Like, we want to see those airline tickets, so you're not coming into this resort.
Ma'am, we're going to need proof of whatever. Hey, let me give you some money here. It's $1,000. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself, so listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword PAY at WMMS.com. That's PAY. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Trying to find that clip of them telling the Bachelorettes that they're going to go. Oh, here. Wait.
Culture and rock and roll. Peter's going to meet you in Cleveland, Ohio.
This week on the back.
Okay. They're just staring at him, waiting for the other part of for him to go, I'm just kidding. No.
Stupid bitches. Oh, they make me so mad. Like, they're too good for Cleveland.
So are you.
What?
You can't wait to get out of here.
But I lived here. They
So
probably hadn't
what?
even been here before, so they're listening to everybody else.
But you don't love it enough to stay.
But it's not because I hate Cleveland.
By the
it's
way,
because
you are never leaving Cleveland, so I don't know why you keep saying that you want to. You're not going to leave Cleveland.
Yeah, that's fine.
Never.
I said what I said because I have grown up here my entire life. And I do agree with you, Alan, that I have been spoiled in this business as far as working in my hometown, my first job out of college. A lot of my friends did move out of state, and they got jobs, and, you know, they earned their bones that way. But with me, I haven't. It's not even like necessarily a career thing. It's just like a life thing. I want to know what life is like on the other side.
No, I get
of
it.
the country.
I think most people want to leave their hometown.
Just for a little bit.
No, I get it.
And
Yeah,
I never said
some
I was going to
experience,
leave forever. I did.
Right.
Yeah, get out there and earn your bones.
You got out of Oberlin.
Yeah.
He was straight out of Oberlin.
And I thought Akron was like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what life is like in a big city.
Yeah, he was that girl.
The hustle and
You
bustle.
still haven't lived in a big city.
Well, to me, again, Oberlin is 3 miles in every direction. You're out of the city.
Right.
Akron to me was like a metropolis.
Right. And then Cleveland's bigger than Akron.
Cleveland is like New York City to me. Well,
But you lived in Cleveland. You live in Cleveland now.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he still he considers this living
Still a
in the
big city.
city.
This is a
and
big
it is a city. It's not, but it's not anything like living in New York or Chicago.
Well, nothing's like
Yeah.
living there, but there are plenty of cities the size of Cleveland where you can still get. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like the fact that I still find out things every day. Like I'm like, oh my gosh! I remember the day I found out there was a subway system here. I was like, wait, we have a subway? They're like, yeah, the Rapids. I'm like, oh, we have a train?
You didn't know we had the RTA?
You never saw buses or hear RTA commercials?
I saw
or-
buses, but I did
Yeah.
not know Rapid is different than the bus.
Yeah, but you never
But
knew about that?
you didn't know anybody who took the train?
This was years. Like I found out maybe like 5 years ago because
Okay.
I took it once for the first time. I was like, so people just park their car here and then you're like, yeah, and they go to the game.
You never saw the train?
No. Well,
There's elevated portions of the train.
again, it was like 5 years ago when I started partying in the flats, like with Erica, and I'm like, oh, there's a train system here. You know, that's what those tracks are for. I thought they were old, and Cleveland just didn't have money to like peel them up.
That's why peel them up.
You know,
Peel up those train tracks. We're trying to get futuristic over here.
I don't think I ever noticed. I never noticed people riding the trains to the flats. I never noticed it.
That's why back in the day, you would date somebody who lived right off the L line because you could get off. The apartment was there. All you had to put up with was the sound of the train right outside their window, but you'd get used to that in like a week. You'd get off the train. Their apartment's right there. In a Chicago winter, nothing could be better than that. You get on the train, you go straight back up. You're in your house or whatever, or you go to work.
I'll take the RTA from time to time.
I've taken it precisely twice.
And you for
It's
Cavs
fine.
games,
Yeah.
games and Tribe games, and even like there's a station that's pretty close to my place. So like when we're working downtown, I could walk to the station like on a summer day if I feel like adding a little 30-minute commute of walking. I could do that.
And just like we were talking the other day, Mary was mentioning the Galleria. Now, and I thought the Galleria was Tower City. And I was like, wait, the Galleria is a separate building? She's like, yeah. And I walked past it a million times. I never noticed it. I didn't know we had a sky deck. I'm like,
See,
I just
all
learned
these things you're
things.
coming to learn. Yeah. Can't go yet. Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Alan. Hey, guys.
What's
How's
up,
it
man?
going? So I was always under the understanding with like Price is Right. If you win a prize, you could trade it in for the cash value. Like with like a lot of prizes, you could just.
I think
trade it in for like a.
I'm
smaller-
sure there
smaller
are
whatever.
some. I'm sure there are some that you can.
I think maybe cars.
Yeah, but I think because you have to pay taxes on.
Yeah.
There's a lot more tax on a car than there would be on a trip. Yeah, so I think you might be able to do that. But I think if it's a trip, like Bill said, that's the New Hampshire State Tourism Board getting on Price is Right, and they're looking for people to come to New Hampshire, not take the money. I don't know, but you're probably right on some thing there. Thank you, Mitch.
From what I just Googled, it says you can't opt for cash value instead of prizes. You're entitled to the exact prize you won or nothing. And that's because, like I said, these are things, they're promotions.
But that's also, like I said, I can't imagine this woman wants to pay tax on that trip, on that prize. I would think she would turn it down. Say, you know what, if she could drive up the road to New Hampshire, like she said herself, I've been in New Hampshire 1 million times. We're going to pay tax on this trip? Daniel.
If you got to go to a nice resort, though, that could be fun.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hello there.
5 days
Hi there.
in New Hampshire. Hi, Daniel. What's going on?
Hey, long time listener, first time caller. I've always wanted to say something, but you got my boy Bill there. Bill won't remember me; he's too young. But I was your neighbor, Bill, next door on
Campbell?
Bonita Road.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh,
And, your dad.
for you.
You lived on Bonita Road?
Yeah, Bonita Road. Yeah,
It's my mother's name.
Hey, it was the Squire Castle there. Trust me, he had the coolest house ever with spiral chimneys, spiral stuff holding his porch up.
Were you right next door?
Yeah, I built that house in 1990.
Yeah, okay.
I know your brother Steve.
Yeah,
How's your uncle Greg? I gotta know. Party buddy.
He's dropping all the names.
Yeah, I honestly haven't heard from or seen Greg in 3 or 4 years.
That's a bummer.
So
Yeah.
Daniel's not your age.
I saw him at my grandpa's funeral, and he was fine then. But I mean, he's working and just living his life. Daniel's a few years older than me. I mean, obviously he was an adult.
I'm 61.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I remember your sister Beth.
Yeah.
Your little brother Steve. Yeah. The whole family. Hey, the Squires are really good. I want to mention that, Alan.
Did you ever go to a Squire Masonry show when they were playing live?
Sorry?
Did you ever go to a... What?
He had moved
no,
by then, yeah.
Not at all.
All right.
The Squires were Mormons, which was funny. I met them. No.
This has never come up? You're holding out on me, Bill.
He's uncovering my past.
I seen the mom and dad in the mall, and I asked how everybody's doing, and they were scared to mention that Bill was a comedian because, he's the black sheep of the family. Believing the Mormons.
They didn't want to tell people that you were a comedian.
No, that was
so
funny.
what did they tell you
cool.
What did they tell you he did?
Actually, no. They said he was a comedian, but they were bummed out by telling me that. Yeah, they were actually
right. They were all sullen.
He's a comedian.
He's a comedian.
Damn, I'm sorry, Bill.
You just made my day. No, this is the best. I love it.
He's a comedian.
Anyway,
if we were lucky, he'd be in prison for trying to kill someone, but he's a comedian.
It's the worst.
There's a million stories about him, but I don't want to. Like I said, there's no dirt. I'm giving up on.
Understood. And unfortunately, I've got to go to a break. But thank you, Daniel, for the call.
Yep. Very nice.
Thank you, pal. There's Daniel, who lived in the house right next to the Squires, who, to recap, turn out to be Mormon. Mm-hmm. LDS all the way.
And my parents are reluctant to tell people I'm a comedian.
Do you think that's still the case?
It sounds like he just ran into him recently.
Oh, I thought he ran into him I wasn't sure if that was like after you'd been doing it for a little while.
I think that's probably what made him call, is running into my parents and then saying, I'll talk to my mom and see exactly how it went down.
But he said he was a regular listener to this show, didn't he? He'd been listening for a while but had never called. So he knows what you do. Okay, why would he ask your parents what? I don't
that's
know. Why I think
Whatever
this
the
had to be
timeline
farther
is.
back. Yeah. So what's Billy doing? And they go, he's a comedian. A comedian, you mean somebody who tries to improve people's lives by making them laugh? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the matter with that? It sounds great.
He makes fun of our religion.
Oh, that's
Did
what
you know
it
we
is.
were Mormon?
Oh, God. Let me take a break here. I will have those Black Keys tickets for you a little bit later on. You want to get the last pair this week to see them at Blossom in September. And another 4-pack for next weekend, for All-Star Weekend, put you at one of the NBA crossover sessions next Saturday at Public Auditorium. So do all that coming up. If you want to text for anything, 35192, and you can listen wherever you are, whatever you're doing, on the iHeartRadio app.